UFC 317 is a few more sleeps away, and I'm going to give you guys my breakdown and prediction for the main event. If you want to see the breakdowns and predictions for the other fights, I will be releasing those as in short form content, as shorts, reels, TikTok videos, all of that. But let's break down the main event, which is Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira, guys. It's Big Yems. I'm back with another one. Let's get into the video. So obviously we have Ilia Topuria versus. You know what's so funny, guys? You know what's actually so funny? I'm clearing out some stuff, and as I've said Ilia Topuria's name, I've looked down, and the first two cards of my UFC cards that are actually at the front of the pile are Ilia Topuria. How crazy is that? I literally just looked down at them and saw them. I even need to collect some more of these. I need to go buy some more. But as I was saying, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira takes place this weekend. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, yeah. I know a lot of people want Charles Oliveira to win, and it would be good if Charles Oliveira wins. But when it comes to, okay, I'm gonna say this, yeah. Ilia Topuria, I've watched a number of his fights, and I used to when I first found out about him, I used to say to myself, "Oh, he doesn't use leg kicks enough. He's purely boxing." But against, like, when he fought Max, I'm not gonna lie, he did display a full. He put on a full-on display of mixed martial arts. He had the takedowns, he had the leg kicks, he had the boxing. So it was good to see that from him, because before I was a bit skeptical of his overall striking because he didn't really throw a lot of leg kicks. And going into this fight, yeah, listen, Charles has very good Muay Thai. I'll give it to him. He has a very good Muay Thai striking style for MMA. But Charles gets hurt in every fight that I've watched Charles Oliveira. He gets hurt. He gets hurt and he gets hit too much. And Ilia, listen, it's not a question of will he, it's when will he land. Because Ilia will land cleanly on Oliveira's chin. His footwork, his boxing IQ, his boxing combinations, speed, all of the boxing fundamentals tied into one is levels above Charles Oliveira. So he will find the target, and that is inevitable. Um, Obviously, as we know, and those of you that would have watched my breakdown video before Ilia fought Max last year, you would have seen that, and anyone that studies MMA and really knows their shit will know Ilia does his best work when he backs people up against the cage for two reasons. One, there's nowhere to escape, and once you back someone up against the cage, they're essentially what's the words I'm looking for? They're essentially saying, "Come and get me," because you can shoot takedowns there. You can pick someone apart against the cage. Like I've said previously in many videos, it's not like a boxing ring where you can use the ring, the ropes. Like, let's say you cover up, you can lean on the ropes. In the cage, you can't do none of that leaning. If you did, man's gonna punch you to the body. I'll just break down your body and, or take you down. So, and Ilia does his best work against the cage, and I feel like, especially if you get backed up with someone like Ilia who lands good power shots and just not in one shot, in combos, getting backed up against the cage is your worst nightmare. Because at least if you're in the middle, you can kind of roll with the shots, but if you're backed up against the cage, there's only so much you can do. You can kind of move like that, but you can't really roll with the shots. So I just feel like you're putting yourself in danger. And you know what, yeah? Demetrius Johnson came out and said something not too long ago. I can't remember. He was breaking down the Sean O'Malley versus Marab, the Willis Valley rematch. And he said the guy going forward tends to win the fight. And I agree. And Ilia is going to come forward. He's going to push guys back. He pushed Max back. He pushed Volk back. And the maddest thing is, when Max wasn't getting pushed back in that fight, he was winning the exchanges. So yeah, Ilia is definitely going to back Charles up. The footwork, the combinations, the boxing IQ, the head movement, in my opinion, is going to be too good for Charles, and he will back Charles up and end up landing that fatal blow. That's where I can see him doing very well. And listen, I know Ilia likes to load up, so he could potentially back Charles Oliveira up, throw a hook or something, and he does load up quite a lot. He could potentially miss the hook. And you see, this is where I feel like Charles could potentially do well. You see, in those situations when he gets backed up, when Ilia comes crashing in, if he can initiate the clinch, I do think Charles Oliveira will do very, very well in the clinch against Ilia Topuria. Can get some knees off. Um, if we're talking standing up, that is where I see Charles could have an advantage in the clinch. He could land some nasty knees. Um, but other than that, standing up, I don't really see. I can't listen, guys. I cannot. I can't. Even if I wanted to pick Charles, I couldn't pick Charles because when you look at the levels, yes, Charles Oliveira might be a better overall striker in terms of mixing it up. But Ilia Topuria's boxing is levels above, man. I cannot lie to you guys. And like against a lot of guys, like especially you see what it is with Ilia, yeah. He's got the whole package of the mixed martial arts with the ground game, the wrestling, the BJJ, um, and then he when you look at his boxing, the head movement, the combinations, the footwork, like it's just crazy. It's too much. It's too. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be too much for Charles Oliveira to deal with. Like I don't think this fight is going to be as close as everybody thinks. Even on the ground, I know this is going to sound crazy. I do think if Charles is able to get Ilia down, I think Ilia is going to be too strong for him, and I do feel like Ilia will be able to deal with him on the ground. Um, so for those reasons, I'm picking Ilia Topuria. And like I've said, guys, Charles gets hit a lot and he gets hurt in every fight. So Ilia is going to crack him. It's not a question of will, it's a question of when. And to be completely honest with you, Ilia has called a first round finish. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think this fight goes past 3 rounds. Um, Personally, I think Ilia gets it done early. I think first round finish, if not second. I don't see it really going into the third, and if it does, Charles will get finished in the third. This is not going the distance. 100% it's not. I mean, look at they both have high high finishing rates. So this fight definitely is not going to a decision. But guys, I'm picking Charles Oliveira. Guys, I'm picking Ilia El Matador Topuria to win this by KO. And I'm going to pick him to win by KO in the first round. I'm guessing if you're going to put some money on, I probably won't put money on this card because I don't really think the risk and the reward ratio is worth it. Although I'm going to have a look, I do feel like if you was to put Charles Oliveira to win by submission, you'll probably get a decent return. But the reality is, guys, that ain't happening. I know some people are going to say, yeah, you're tapped, you don't know what you're talking. Listen, I will repeat it again. Charles Oliveira gets hurt in every single fight. He gets hit quite a lot. And if you think Ilia Topuria, with the power that he has, yeah, is not going to crack that chin of... In fact, let me say how Ilia said. If you think that with the power that Ilia Topuria has, he is not going to make Charles Oliveira's chin explode, then you are fucking crazy, mate. Because Charles is going to sleep. I'm not going to lie to you. And another thing, I do feel like because Ilia is coming up, you see listen, lightweights are obviously still part of the smaller guys, yeah? But you see I don't think people understand. You see the smaller weight classes, like I would say from not even really but I'll include the welterweights. I'll say welterweight and below. As you start getting lower and lower through the weight classes, that's where more of the skill is. Because I feel like as you climb divisions and you get the bigger guys, you can get away with just having power. But the smaller weight classes, I'm telling you guys, any discipline, go look at them. It's more technique and skill. We are the skillful guys of martial arts as a whole. The bigger guys, people come to watch them. Not even. I'm gonna say how it is. People come to watch the bigger guys for the pure fact that they are guaranteed a knockout because of the power. When you watch the smaller weight classes, you're not guaranteed a knockout unless you got a guy like Ilia or Javante Davis, for example. But you generally will see more skill in the lower weight classes, and I do feel like Ilia Topuria's overall skill is better than Charles Oliveira. I'm not going to lie to you guys, and I do think he's going to cause a lot of problems in this division because skill-wise, he is better than a lot of guys. Like even if he was, Arman Tsarukyan is the backup fighter, yeah. And personally, I'm a big Arman Tsarukyan fan. I don't think Ilia would actually be able to hurt Arman the way he's hurt Charles or hurt Max. I do feel like if Arman was to take Ilia down, he would be able to have his way. I do feel like Arman is a very strong guy when it comes to that. But in terms of overall skill, especially the striking, Ilia has got better striking than Arman. And Arman's boxing is decent, but listen, Ilia's up there, man. So I'm picking Ilia to win by KO in the first round, latest second round. But yeah, that's my predictions for this fight. I mean, if Charles pulls it off and he wins, then shouts out to him. It would be good for the sport if he won, but I just can't see it happening. How old is Charles now? Charles is... It's annoying that I don't say it here, though. Charles is 35. He's at the later stages of his career. He can still be a world champion, but do I see it happening? Absolutely not. I'm sorry, guys. That's just my opinion. Comment below your predictions. Who you think wins this fight? Look out for my other little shorts and TikTok videos that I'll be doing, breaking down the other fights on the card. I will be doing more, in detailed breakdowns. As you guys know, I do generally tend to do, if not the whole card, I'll do the main card. But I thought, let me focus on this specific fight just because of the magnitude of the fight and how big it is. So, like I said, guys, look out for my predictions on the other fights. They will be released as shorts, reels, TikTok videos, etc, etc. But like and subscribe, guys. It's Big Yems in a bit, and I'm going to tell you one more time, guys. Charles Oliveira's chin, he will explode. Let me tell you, Ilia go pound that chin like yam, and he go explode. I not gonna lie. I'm just telling you guys. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate Ilia, hates the game. In a bit, guys.